Rob, you have to be completely thrilled, and I know as a coach that's almost against the law.
Yeah.
You've got to be. I mean, your first, second, and third string are playing so well.
Well, it's training camp. You don't want to be deceived. You're a work in progress, aiming towards the goal, but they're working their butt off, which is what you want. And their mindset's in the right place, and you're building that continuity, which is what you want to see. But they're flying around, and they're doing some good things. It's so hard because in the moment you're like, we got to get better at this, we got to get better at that, and you're on the details. But they're doing some good things.
What are you seeing from Matthew Butler?
Matthew Butler, maturity. I'll keep it real. When I got here last year, I don't know how he wasn't as coachable. He was more, hey, I did it this way in college. He's grown up. He's embraced. It took a full season for him to. We've talked a lot about keeping his cleats in the ground, keeping his base. He's such a strong kid. He has to be able to utilize his power. So that starts with his base. I already know he could rush the passer a little bit. He's twitchy. He's strong. A guy that was irritating to be around to a guy that I love and just plays hard. And what's there not? He runs the ball. He's strong. He's tough. He can rush the passer. All he needed to do was work on double teams, anchoring down and keeping his cleats in the ground. And he's doing that. Is it perfect? No, but like he's a worker, man. He is a worker.
Is it a group that will embrace the massive expectations of the group?
Something I don't even really talk about. I really don't even think about. We just try to meet the standard every day. It's not cliche, but it's like, let's go be about it. Let's go be about it. I don't want to talk about it. I want to see it on a day-to-day basis. We should start off with pursuit and what the standard is, and we talk about what not the standard is. So it's like expectations. It's a waste, man. And what was Nick Saban say? It's rat poison. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that there's any benefit in talking about. None. No different than it's easy. That's why I already hit him with it. That's going to be the burden we're going to have to, or narrative we're going to have to fight this year. It's easy to be the underdog. Everybody telling you stink last year headed to the season. And then now everybody tells you how great you are. My job is to keep you humble, keep you hungry, tell you exactly who you are. That's why they call themselves the Misfits. Nobody wanted you. Outcast. There's a million stories in that room we talked about this morning that, down and out.
Yeah, sorry. Another player that maybe needed a little bit of a mindset change was Byron Young, and he talked about, the mindset change that he had during the offseason, and it feels like he's flashing out there, and he came in and has taken that onto the field.
He's in better shape. It's the strain, it's the finish, it's the nastiness, it's the style of play, which is a real thing. I don't care if you're in perfect position to make the play, you got to make the play. So, what do you want me to do for that until you make that decision personally? So he's come back in better shape. He understands what the expectation is, and he's worked his butt off. When they're their hardest critic and they're beating you to the punch and coming off to the sideline, I missed all of my hands on this play. I wasn't right on that. That's how you know people drop the word development all the time. That is development, rather than what happened on that play. They have no clue. So he's striving for perfection like the rest of the room, and that's kind of the standard. And when you have 94 and 98, it makes it kind of easier, and it's the truth.
There was a play yesterday with Tyree. He comes rushing up, quarterback gets rid of the ball, goes all the way around the line of scrimmage, and essentially makes the tackle 30 yards down the field. Showed his speed, showed his acceleration. How much is, when you see stuff like that, is, okay, now we're getting the Tyree we drafted, he's healthy?
It's funny you mentioned that play. We showed it today. That is his best pursuit clip he's had since being raised. That's the truth. He ran, he didn't just run, he finished with a punch 30 yards down the field. Now can you do that every play? So now that you put that on tape, can you meet that standard every play? And that goes to conditioning and nutrition and being able to do it at the level that other players do. And that was awesome. That's real life of what we talk about. So that's above anything else that's most important in our room.
Byron, Matthew, and Tyree, how much of a blessing is it you've got Butler, you've got Jank, you got Christian Wilkins, you have the guys that set the standard so high?
What's the question?
How much of it is it for you to be, one thing for you to coach, but they see Jank, Butler, and Christian setting the standard so high, how much does it help? Okay, it's just not my coach. These are the guys ahead of me and how they play.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it makes it good, but like complacency is human nature at the same time. So you got to get on their tail and be like, hold everybody to the same standard on everything. You know what I mean? To answer your question, yes, it is easier, especially from a technique fundamental standpoint. But like Adam got reached yesterday on the first play of start fast. I'm like, hey man, not the standard. You know what I'm saying? He knew it, but you still got to show it. You still got to go through it, and no different. Like what's great is the player has to be be held to that standard. So 98's the same way, and it makes it easier.
One of the reasons they said they came to was bonding, camaraderie, be around each other. Has your unit kind of taken advantage of that? Like, what have you thot about being here for like 2.5 weeks?
Training camp on the road, computer doesn't work, nobody cares. Stuck in the bubble upstairs by the pool, nobody cares. It's hot, the AC goes out. Like, it reminds me of back when I was in high school going to training camp. We went to Cal UPA, you're in the dorms, but that's a real. Like, you want to callous and build, you have to go through some adversity. You know what I mean? And so the coach is included in that, it's scrambling practice. Got to go set up my drills like quickly after this. And so all of that, and not being at home, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that being out here has brought that.
A couple of days ago, Byron Young, he came out and said, last year I came in and I thought something was, I deserved something, and he realized that he didn't. Everything has to, be earned. And so with that being said, have you really been able to see that switch in him from last year to this year of really just realizing, like, this isn't going to just come to me, I have to go take it?
Well, the fact of him saying that is impressive. The fact of him noticing that is impressive because he didn't even practice in training camp last year. He was hurt with a hamstring, and he thought, well, I don't want to speak for what he thought, but, you work, you play. You know what I mean? And he's put in the work, and he's gotten better. So he's trending that way, and needs to continue to do it. But to me, I think it's awesome that's coming from him.
I feel like he unlocked something in Trey, too. I mean, I don't know if it's just how they work together or what it is, but I guess, what is that relationship like, and how important is Marcus for Trayvon?
They have a great relationship. You can see that they have great chemistry with one another. They have a lot of consistent dialogue, whether it be in the meeting room or out there on the field, and it's continuing to elevate as we continue to go through this journey. And so I think that they complement each other very well. They play off of one another very well, and you can see that really since I had the opportunity to be here, they've continued to elevate their growth and their understanding of the game and how they can put themselves and each other in positions to be successful.
Where's Chris's game right now?
I'm sorry, say that?
Where's Chris Smith's game? Where's his game right now?
Chris is still developing. I mean, Chris is a young player. He's still developing within his understanding of the responsibilities, and especially his role as a communicator. And so this is a great opportunity as we get to game week to kind of assess where exactly he is as we continue to go through this developmental process for him as a professional.
I talked to a lot of people at Air Force about Trey, and nobody can stop raving about him. Like, people have hit me up afterwards and said, I forgot to tell you this. Like, what has he brought to the team and to the room?
Trey's a great kid. He's brought obviously a joy to the room in regards to how he goes about his business, how he converses with the guys in the room. But again, he's just a guy that's always going to be getting to work as well. Like, he's head down, listens, very attentive, displays his understanding out there on the field, and is very hungry to be able to just figure out how to elevate his game throughout this process.
A lot of people said coming in that bonding and camaraderie would be key to coming here and to being away from home. Has your group found that, or what's the 2.5 weeks been like here?
It's been great because getting away like this, you start to try to capture the things that you can't really measure. but you know that are present when it comes to the team building aspect of this whole deal. And so, some of that informal time that these guys have an opportunity to be together, away from really everything. Everybody's away from their families and stuff like that. And so, you really get an opportunity to get to know one another. You may not necessarily have maybe certain conversations as we go about our day-to-day life, in our building or back in Vegas. And so this time was strategically put for us to be able to get chemistry, come together, and then ultimately play for one another when we get into critical situations throughout this journey of the season.
I know you talked about Marcus Epps already, but just from his point of view and the communication that he provides, not only for the safeties, but for the whole unit on defense, how important has he been?
He's been important. We always talk about that is our responsibility as communicators, as signal callers. We provide clarity for everybody on the field, and it's bigger than just making maybe some type of terminology that's within the the confines of the call. A lot of it has to do with making everybody aware of maybe some things that we see that offensively that they're trying to get done, and making sure that we put everybody aware about what attack could be coming to a certain individual, even if it's beyond our responsibility. So his role as a communicator, as well as Trayvon's and really everybody. That's what we talk about in our room, is just making sure that we put ourselves and our teammates in positions to make plays.
We always talk about making plays, but you guys have spent a lot of time working on fundamentals and making sure you had that down. How important was that to make sure that base was solid before you try to build off of it?
I always say this: fundamentals are the engine that drive the scheme, and so regardless of what calls that we make or your roles or your responsibilities, making sure that you have the fundamentals and skill development within that to do your job and execute your job is the most important thing, especially as you go through this early stages of the season where everybody's going to get a feel for how each other are going to play. They're going to find themselves as a team in September, and then over the course of time you still need to develop those fundamental things, because those are the things that are going to separate as we continue to go forth throughout the season.
How exciting is it to have that defensive line up front to be able to play off of those guys?
It's a special unit, man. It's a special unit. It's been that way, and obviously there's a big addition with Christian being there, and we're going to ride the wave that these bigs provide for us in the secondary for sure. But it's been special. It's special to really, not only see them produce, but really to see them work. I think that's probably the most impressive thing that maybe not everybody has an opportunity to see. The way that those guys work, how diligent they are, the togetherness that they have within that unit, how they play for one another is only going to strengthen us, not only up front, but really us collectively as a defensive unit.
Is there any kind of challenges you put in front of maybe the safeties or the corners of, hey, this is what we're trying to do? This is the production we want to get. Maybe any goals just to have a target in front of you, or is it just organic?
Well, the focus is always to try to get the ball back for our offense or score ourselves. And so that's the goal. That's our responsibility. Obviously, we have a responsibility to eliminate all the explosive plays, whether it be from the run or the passing game. But every down that we get a chance to get out there, every time that ball snaps, the goal in mind is to get the football. And so how do we do that? Well, there's executions of technique and fundamentals and responsibilities and communication that have to be done in order to give us an opportunity to be able to get that ball back. And so always putting that in their mind, that is the goal down by down. And what do we need to do in order to continue to get an opportunity to do so is holding them to the standards of how we perform, how we behave, and ultimately execute out there on the field.
One final question, and I wanted to ask you this back in OTAs. You guys were using the video screens during water breaks or whatever like that. How much benefit does that provide for you guys to be able to show actual activity right then and there instantly instead of waiting until you get to the film room?
Well, it provides instant feedback. When you have an opportunity to go back and assess whatever things that happen, good, bad, it's just an opportunity to learn instantly on the fly. And not that we have the video screens in game day, but it kind of simulates the opportunities that we have mid-series to go back to the sideline, correct error, maybe make adjustments, and then take that information and apply it within the next series of play. And so it's a good thing to have, because we can get after certain issues that might present themselves immediately from a learning lesson standpoint.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate
Yep, no problem.
Well, Coach, it's only a couple more days here of camp in Costa Mesa. What have you seen from your position group? Looks like a lot of competing going on out there.
Oh, yeah, a lot of excitement, man. We all excited. The guys are playing hard. They're competing out there. We're trying to just get 1% better every day. The guys are out there doing a good job. It's not perfect, but we continue to grow and continue to strive and head towards where we want to be.
Coming into camp, there's a conversation about, okay, who's going to be the corner across from Jack, and JB is taking that job from our point of view, and just let it be known he was that guy. What have you seen from Ja'Cory Bennett so far?
Yeah, well, we coming in this camp, man. Everybody has to earn a spot. You know, Jack has to go out there and earn the right to play, right to earn the right to be a starter as well. And Ja'Cory and Faison is still competing. Faison has been he got hurt, you know, so kind of putting him back a little bit, but he's right there as well. But JB has been exploding this camp. He's just been doing a lot of things right. He's been striving to get better. He's gotten better. And the guys are egging him on and pushing him on to be great. So it's been awesome, man. He just continues to grow.
That energy from that group has been awesome to watch, just to see them bond together. And I know that you have that energy as well. What has it been like to be the leader in that room with those guys?
It's been awesome. You know, I mean, it's football. You know, when it comes down to it, it's a kid's game. We just playing for King's ransom, you know. So we're having fun out there, and that's the most important thing. I try to tell the guys is have fun out there, man, and enjoy this game and make it hard now, and it'll be easy later. So just a couple of things we say in that room, you know, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You know, it's only two kinds of pain. You know, we're gonna be disciplined enough to put the work in now. All right, we won't regret anything later. All right, so go out there and give it our best, and let the chips fall where they may.
What have you seen from DCam?
Oh man, D-Cam was awesome, man. That kid, when we came back from camp, he just got something different in his eyes. His focus, his intent is elevated in this camp, and he really wants to come in. And we told him, we're gonna need you this year, right now, not next year, not your second year, right now. So he took that to heart, man, and PG put that on him, and he's just been growing. He's been playing hard, practicing hard, making some great plays, and just training. Continuing to work, get the playbook, and limit the rookie mistakes, which he's got better at. So it's been awesome to see that kid grow and go out there and compete with our receivers and challenge them.
He said that he has a goal every day. He comes out with a different goal every day, and he seems like he's very coachable. Are you getting that sense as well? Very coachable guy?
Oh, definitely a coachable kid. And what I like about it too is not only from me, but from GA, from other vets on the team, Marcus, Jack. You know, they'll chime in, and when they see something to help him out, and he's all ears. You know, and no ego with him at all. He's a very humble young man, and he's working hard, man. It's gonna benefit him and our team.
How much does Marcus Epps help being on that back end, being able to communicate with everyone, even linebackers as well?
I can't even tell you enough how important our safeties are. Having a guy like Epps, having a guy like GA, you know, just those are safeties. You know, he's a safety too. Like I remember benefiting from having a guy like Mike Mincer or Deion Grant on in the safety position. It helps our corners out tremendously because they see the field differently than everybody from the back end and from a wide perspective, and just his maturity and his level of experience in the game really helps our corners in certain instincts and really guides and leads our secondary and part of our defense as well. Same thing with having the linebackers that are as talented as the ones we have. They help make our team better, and really because it's the elite level of communication and understanding of the game. It's first and it's loud, you know, and it's kind of like mama's voice. It just calms you down, you know. Like, okay, we're gonna be all right. Okay, cool, we're gonna be all right.
Right. You mentioned earlier about Jack Jones having to earn the job. What have you seen from him and Nate Hobbs? They look like they've got a really good 1-2 punch chemistry there.
Man, those dudes are on a mission. Like Jack don't like to get beat. Nate don't like to get beat. Like they are on a mission. They are chasing rare air right now, as GA always says. And you can see it every day in their preparation. You can see it every day when they step on that field. Is it perfect? No. But there's times where we have coaching moments out there, where they have moments as players where they say, okay, well, this is where I can grow. This is where I can be better. And what I'm seeing from Jack is his coachability has increased, and his maturity has increased, and that's only made him a better player. That's only focused and locked him in that much more. And like I tell him every day, when you lock in, bro, it is going to be problems.
Yeah.
Stay locked in. Sorry, excuse me, I'm chewing gum. That's a challenge, though. That's a challenge. So we have to continue to remind each other, as coaches, as players, that what we're chasing rare air. You know, and it takes that sometimes.
final question for me is, you guys, part of being out here in Costa Mesa is bonding and getting together as a football family. How have you thought that that's gone so far?
I think it's great. The Costa Mesa part, just being away, allows guys that we're around each other all day long, and what a beautiful place to be. See some of the players went to the beach. I know we have a couple. I think a beach day coming up as well. But for us, it's just really putting us in a home, so to speak, together. Living together, and it allows just those times that you don't have to plan out. Just those moments with family, that conversations come up, and also too, we can just relax together too as well. That's a big thing too. We just relax and chill and talk about life sometimes.
Yeah.
Ricky, something that AP mentioned yesterday was, you guys during like individual or team drills, like you don't like split the backups and the starters up into different groups. So sometimes the backups may not get that many reps in those drills. One of those players probably in that group is MJ Devonshire. What have you been working on with him when it comes to getting those mental reps and talking him through what's going on?
Yeah, you make it. That's a good point. A lot of times, some guys don't get reps, but I think how AP is scheduled, how AP has planned out our practices, how PG has planned out our defensive side of the ball, it allows it to where those guys do get quality reps. But when they don't, when it's one spot, when it's focused on one team at a time, and they get less spots, less reps. For us, for the corners, I always have those guys take mental reps, and not just mental reps like on the sideline watching and thinking through things, but actually take the mental and the physical rep behind the guy. So you'll stand behind. So you'll see MJ. If you see our film, you'll see MJ in the back and behind JB, taking the same exact rep like if he was in a game, but except for he's 15 yards deep. So I always work your mechanics, man, because we can't get these reps back, and they all important. So that's how we kind of get those reps in, on top of trying to throw him in there at times too, and let him see him go with the older guys and see how he holds up.
It seems like JB is a player that's playing with a lot of confidence so far in training camp. And I think we saw, I know you weren't here, but he kind of displayed a similar thing last year. What's the key with translating that over when it comes to the regular season?
Well, JB is a confident person, right? So a lot of people mistake getting down on yourself and trying to be great as not having confidence. He approaches the field with confidence. Like his improvement, he believes he can improve. He came in with no doubt in his mind that he's going to get better. So he's always had the confidence. What we do as a staff and what we're doing in this training camp, and what training camp does, it builds further confidence by going out there and doing it every day. By going out there and continue to stack bricks and have success. That builds the confidence up. That builds the confidence to an elite level. And that's what he's doing. He's out there healthy, playing good, feeling good. He's a very smart, intelligent player, knows the defense. Now he's able to learn like some of the nuances of it, of not just the defense, but his game and the game in whole. So it's awesome to see him grow, man. And the dude never lacked confidence. All right, it's just expanded for him now.
I know, like you said, we pretty much know he's going to be a starter if he's healthy, but what's the next step for him to take to kind of really become a truly elite corner in this league?
Well, in Jack Jones' mind, he knew he was going to be a starter for sure. But like I told everybody had to come out here and earn it. We have to earn the right to start on the defense. It was a rep chart for a long time. It's a rep chart, not a depth chart. All right. So Jack is going out there and earn his right to be out there, right? With his ability, with the things that he does well. And for him, it's just, I told him when he focuses in, he's almost he can do some great things in this league at that position, because he just has this stuff in his legs that you just don't see. Just the juice, the change of direction, the speed, the instincts. It's awesome. So for him, he just continues to lock in, focus, and be a leader out there, not only by talking but by leading by example.
With Nate, I think he's somebody that we've seen obviously he's a corner, he's making plays in the pass game, but being at that nickel spot, he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up in the run game as well. But something that, he's a physical player, but kind of something that comes with that a lot of times we see with other players is he's missing time because of that and had injuries. How do you kind of coach that in terms of you don't want to take away that physicality and kind of that grit that makes him a special player, but trying to teach him ways to maybe protect his body and maybe avoid some of those injuries?
And we go be you. go be you, man. It's a physical game. It's gonna be some times. We don't ever coach to not do that. All right. So that start spot is a pivotal part for our defense, and it's the key to unlock our defense, really. And he has to be physical. He's gonna have to take on some tight ends, some pulling guards, some tackles. We understand that. So how we try to take care of him on our end is not have him stop being physical, but add in different packages or monitor his rep count and when he's in the game. Maybe bring in a bigger safety or DB in certain times, and that's how we kind of take some of those reps off of him. And the beauty of it is having the guys to be able to do that, having guys like Isaiah to be able to come in, and Jaden, who are safeties, bigger safeties, that can take some of that pounding off of him and absorb it. So that's the beauty in it. And we trying to monitor that, but we don't hold Nate back at all, man. He gonna be himself. He gonna work on the inside. He gonna work the perimeter as well. That dude is a special talent.
Camaraderie and getting away from Vegas, like for your group specifically, how has the 2.5 weeks gone? Like, I mean, was it a plus? Was it a positive?
Oh, it's definitely a positive. When you hear about guys getting days off and going to the beach and jumping in the waves, that's a bonding experience. And just being in the room, training camp, you're together a lot of time. And, whatever it's like night meetings, afternoon meetings, you're together all the time, and you get used to each other. Sometimes you get on each other's nerves, sometimes you crack jokes, but it's just a bonding part of it. So when you go out there on the field and the adversity hits, you can think back to the times of what happened in training camps and be able to go out there and stand tall together.
Any of the younger guys kind of jumped out for you this camp at all, or you seen you guys flash?
I think that with that room, it's really a bunch of competition, and each day everybody has to bring their A game, and we're consistently focused on trying to be the best we can be every day, and the guys are doing it. You can look at Amari Burney. He's playing more physical. He's doing well in the run game and also in the pass game. Same thing with Tommy. He's a football guy, and he's out there making his plays. And then Luke has played more than the younger guys, but he's still a, quote, young guy, and he's out there, and he really understands the game, and he's making his plays. So it's just a bunch of good competition.